Albuquerque, New Mexico, attending the funeral of a dear friend and brother, Ric Buteau. If you see my Facebook feed or Pastor Bob's Facebook feed, then you've seen probably hundreds of references to Ric. What a devout man of profound faith he was, and how he touched so many lives. And at his funeral last night, of course, as any funeral does, it gives you a moment to pause and think about really ultimately what's important. My podcast is called So What? It is a podcast about Christian theology, theos, God, ology, study of. The podcast is called So What? Because theology, it should be practical. It's not some ethereal, mysterious thing that is meaningless, that is only important to scholars. It is, if you are a Christian, if you call yourself a child of God, then theology is for you. And every week I try to talk about something that's eminently practical, that you can take home with you, that you can prayerfully apply to your life every day, that you might live more faithfully, more righteously, more consistently, for His sake, for His glory, that you might be a more powerful witness of the love and power of Jesus Christ to transform lives. But beloved, ultimately, all of this is about preparing for our deaths. You do understand that, don't you? There's an old Larry Norman song that says, "It's only today that counts. Live it like it might be your last." Ric had no idea when he laid down to go to sleep Tuesday that he had lived his last day on this earth. Beloved, none of us are promised tomorrow. So it is imperative that we make today count, not just to put bread on the table, not just to go to work, not just to watch TV and do movies, not just to get caught up in this life, but really thinking about the life to come. Beloved, it is so easy to lose sight of the fact, of the reality of another world. The world that we live in is corporal. We can touch it, feel it, sense it. You can see those mountains. There's a tree right here. The air is crisp. I can feel it on my skin. I can smell the air. It's so fresh. But beloved, this is no more real than the life to come. But we don't think that way because we can't feel it, touch it. It's an unseen reality. But it is real. And we need to prepare ourselves for that life, for that world, just as we prepare every day for this one. How do we do that, Chris? Beloved, by faithfully, prayerfully applying the Beatitudes to our lives, that we would see them and live that way in our lives every day. Jesus said, do you want to be blessed, happy? Do you want the divine blessing of God on your life? Then follow the Beatitudes. That's how you do it, beloved. Paul likened our life as a race, and he said everybody runs the race, but not everybody wins. He said, run in such a way to win the race. Beloved, are you running the race to win? Don't worry about tomorrow, Jesus said, for tomorrow will worry about itself. Beloved, that is true. Like the Jews in the wilderness, remember, they can only get enough manna for one day, because every day they have to trust God for the next day, for the next day's provision. Do you live your life that way? Or do we get consumed with anxiety about tomorrow and lose track of today, which is really all that we have? Today, beloved, is all that you are promised. I pray that you would run the race in such a way as to win it. Because otherwise, you are living your life in vain. Thank you for tuning in, my friends. And I'll talk to you next week.